Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back. Oops, just knocked my mouse about. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, whatever. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters. Throwing my mouse off the screen and throwing my voice off the game and throwing my mind out the window, because why the hell not? So let's get into it. Up the top right side of the map is Miss Scarlett. She is 21 years of age, from Canada, plays for Team Acer. Been far too long since we cast a game with Scarlett in it. One of the best foreign players out there. Always seems to get in like Premier Leagues and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, just exceptionally awesome to watch. And down the bottom right side of the map, it is Mr. TooDming, 26 years of age, from China, plays for the Zenith of Origin team. Another really awesome foreign player. Foreign, of course, being non-South Korean. And yeah, is pretty awesome, man. I haven't cast a lot of him, I think, but I think I have cast a few games. And he's one of those players who you're just like, yeah, haven't really cast a lot of him, but when I have cast him, he gets out there and he does things, and I say, yeah, you know what, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I don't know who's better in this game. I'd like to say Scarlett. I don't know if I think she's better because she's better, or just because I've cast a lot more of her than I have TooDming, so we'll just have to see. We'll have to let this game stand as a kind of who's better in this particular game anyway. So let's go ahead and check it out. Looks like TooDming. I almost forgot to mention it's a ZvZ. It's kind of obvious, but I just want to mention it's a ZvZ because I love casting ZvZs. They're so awesome and we don't do it almost nearly enough. So let's go ahead and start checking it out. Looks like Scarlett moving in with a couple of links, going to be chasing these guys away, but very nice stuff from both players. Going to get an Evo chamber down for Miss Scarlett, and yeah, just getting a whole bunch of stuff going on. The worker count slightly favouring Scarlett at this point, mainly because TooDming did go for some earlier workers and just started to push in on Scarlett's base a little bit earlier. Unfortunately for him, not really able to do too much in this game so far. He did put a little bit of the pressure on. He did get some early scouts. Scarlett, I don't think she's seen much of TooDming's base. TooDming hasn't seen much of Scarlett's base, but he has been up the ramp. He has had a poke around. He's going for another poke around here. Queen is going to be heading it off, and the Roach Warren. Very important that TooDming did not scout that, and I don't believe he did. No, so he sees the spore. No, not the spore, the spawning pool. I almost said it correctly. But yeah, did not see the Roach one, and did not see the Evo chamber, which is currently going for level 1 weapons. So this is huge, absolutely huge from Scarlett in ZvZ. Going for the early roaches, going for the early roach attack. So she does a beautiful timing attack where she has, I don't know, 10 roaches or something like that. By the time those weapons get up, then TooDming is going to be in quite a bit of trouble. I'm not sure what he can really do. He's going for a ton of lings. He's going to have 1-1 out. He's going to be out a little bit behind Scarlett, but he's going to have 1 armor as well, and that is going to be pretty good. You got to remember though, roaches are generally pretty good versus lings unless the lings are in a spectacularly large amount of numbers. And whether or not TooDming will be able to manage that, he's building a crap ton of lings at the moment. It's going to come down to an engagement. If he tries to run up this ramp with all those lings and Scarlett just plugs up the gap, then yeah, TooDming's got no play. Although he can snipe the third base in that case, which, you know, is going to suck. But he's really pumping out a lot. He's got 40 with 20 more on the way. Scarlett 13 with 8 more on the way. So she's going for a ton of roaches, absolute ton. So there's going to be 20 roaches versus about 70 lings. I could not say for sure who's going to win that battle. I really can't. Looks like Scarlett is going to be the aggressor first off. Moving with those roaches. She just finished roach speed as well. Is going to get the sweet surround off here. And Scarlett is starting to look a little bit... These roaches are going to get taken out. The rest of them cramming themselves into a corner. They should be able to survive in there very nicely. These other roaches reinforcing. Should be able to hold off. Ling speed is obviously there. Ling 1-1 is helping as well. TooDming throwing a ton of links against these roaches and has managed to take them out. The last roach is going to go down to Queen Fire, and that is pretty phenomenal. 16 roaches going down, 51 lings, both players throwing a absolute crap load of units away. And the lings thinking about moving up the ramp. They had a gap, but they've decided, TooDming's decided that he wants to go for a victory rather than just harassment here. He's looking to take everything out, but the roach numbers are still getting out there, and Scarlett's still doing a pretty good job here. And let's have a look at the loss ratio here. So she is losing about 1 roach for 3 lings, and in terms of minerals, that's exactly how much a roach does cost, 3 lings. And of course, once you factor in the gas, the roaches are more expensive, but for now, TooDming doing a pretty good job with his lings, sending them out there. Scarlett, of course, is still erupting in roach numbers, building a ton of roaches. Still a ton of lings out there, but she does have the defensive advantage right now. Trying her absolute best. Look at this one queen taking on 4 lings. Not sure that's really going to work out, but slowly but surely she's pushing them back. There's another wave coming in though. Is this wave going to be it? Is it going to make a difference? I'm not sure. Scarlett really pushing out the roaches. We've got 10. The ling numbers are up to 40, but half of them are still on the other side of the map, I do believe. And finally getting the gap, and TooDming, this is not the best circumstance, but he does force Scarlett to pull on back. Not sure why, she should have just held that gap, but regardless, there we go. More and more lings streaming across the map. Another 30 or so just coming across, another 20 being built. But the lings haven't been able to do too much. They haven't really killed that many workers. 9 workers is half decent, but yeah, I mean, Scarlett's still 11 in the lead. Her macro is so good, so good. So we'll just have to see. He's close. He's very close to taking out this base. Just needs another minute or so of attacking it. And Scarlett is trying to make sure that he doesn't do that. But then again, you just get these sweeps around going off again. I don't know if TooDming has the numbers anymore to make these sweeps around work. Not sure. And there it is. TooDming attack. His attack has been broken. You saw the exact second when it happened, when he just ran the hell out of there, when he decided, nah, this is not working out, I'm going to fall back. He does have roaches coming out though, but his roaches are just about to have level 1, so he's going to have 1/1 upgrades on the roaches. Scarlett, of course, does have level 2 attack already, and she is moving in. She's looking to snipe something. She is very upset about being on the defensive for so long, but is she going to get flanked really badly? The roaches going in the backside, and she's going to snipe the roach one here. Beautiful. She still needs to worry about these leagues, but if Reinforce can take care of them, that's going to be huge. Manages to snipe the roach one, just gets out of there straight away, and TooDming letting her go. Not going to be harassing those roaches anymore. Not going to be throwing anything away from them. This is the difference. When TooDming was attacking Scarlett's third, Scarlett was constantly all over them, all over those lings, never let them rest for a single second. TooDming, on the other hand, let Scarlett go. Let Scarlett have her way with his third base, and the third base got sniped down. And I think that was a pretty big mistake. I think that TooDming needed to stay on top of these roaches. Even if he's losing, even if he's not trading that well, you've got to make sure that these roaches do not have an opportunity to just go carte blanche and just snipe buildings like we saw just before. Obviously, TooDming was waiting to get a better unit count before moving out there, but waiting was definitely a bad decision, and he did lose his third base because of that. And now Scarlett is on 3 bases, 10 more workers, and her macro really is starting to show. I gotta say, just from the macro I've seen from Scarlett in this game, I've got to say that she is definitely a better player than TooDming. I mean, micro aside, unit choice aside, all of that craziness aside, just the pure macro is going to be putting Scarlett in the lead here. And I mean, look at how many workers she's lost. 24 workers so far from TooDming's excellent harassment, and she's still ahead on workers. So that really speaks volumes for her macro. And yeah, what do we got on the army? 21 versus 23, and yeah, it's not bad. I think in the end, the macro is probably going to lead her out. She's just bumped a ton of workers up here. She's now 15 in the lead, and that is just going to mean so many more roaches, so many more whatever. She could keep up with TooDming on roach numbers at the moment and go for hydras at the same time if she really wanted to. She's getting level 1 upgrades. We have seen this quite a few times as well. Like, one player will go for 1/1, the other player will go for fast 2 weapons. And then while the first player is going for level 2 weapons, they'll back up on the armor, which is not a bad play. It does have its advantages, of course. And there we go, army versus army. Both with about the same amount of roaches. Scarlett, of course, with more weapons, and she's just about to hit armor as well, just about. And once the armor hits, I don't think that TooDming will be able to do anything to this army. And 12 roaches coming out straight away, 17 roaches. She's been saving up so much. And I think this is going to be the death push. Once all these roaches come out, she is just going to annihilate things. Unfortunately, TooDming is going to have level 2 weapons out, so that is going to put a bit of a stint in her plan. But TooDming pushing out, still trying to push out workers. He's just not going to be able to keep up with the roach numbers of Scarlett, not with her macro. She's 37 over 29. He's not going to get 8 roaches in the next 2 seconds, so he is definitely in a bad situation. 2-1 versus 1-1. Level 2 just about to hit, but it may be a moot point if the numbers are as close as we think they are. TooDming is just like, we are whatever, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to snipe your third base. And there's no rock, so we can get around the backside after he does it, but deciding not to. Scarlett coming in, absolutely crazy amount of speed, and TooDming choked at the last second. I thought maybe he was going to go for it. I thought maybe he could have gotten it if he did go for it. It's at half health at the moment, and the roaches did have a little bit of a lead. They could have run in, they would have lost quite a bit, but taking out their third base may have been worth it. I do not know. Maybe not, actually. I probably wouldn't have been worth it, but who knows. Regardless, as a result, Scarlett did pull back, but she's got to be close to moving out now, and the numbers are just going absolutely mental. 39 versus 61. That's all you need to say right now. Upgrades, they've both got the upgrade, doesn't matter. Scarlett has 20 more roaches. It is absolutely going to explode here, and TooDming, he's trying his absolute best to get a sweet concave here, and he's gotten it, but I don't know whether Scarlett really cares what sort of concave TooDming has. She's just going to run in and overwhelm, and she can easily do that. And she's even building a Hydralisk down off the back of this, just for the hell of it. But that's it. TooDming given the GG. Scarlett has come out with a victory here, and it all came down to the macro there. Phenomenal play from Scarlett. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching this game. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys tomorrow with another one. Stay tuned.